Minska, or rather, hey people, Chilli here, and on this episode we tackle the newest album by Volbeat. So tape up your knuckles as we get ready to go 10 rounds with this Danish hard rock group. As mentioned before, Volbeat are a hard rock group from Denmark and are made up of Michael Poulsen on lead vocals and rhythm guitar, John Larson on drums, Rob Caggiano on lead guitars and backing vocals, and Casper Boyd Larson on bass. I discovered this band thanks to a cover of theirs on the Metallica's Blacklist, which I covered in another episode, but if you didn't see it, they covered Don't Tread on Me, and it is like a hardened waltz version. So I'm eager to check this out. Let's get into this. Temple of Ika is first, and is related to the mountain house or garden of the gods. Its riff has a subtle eastern vibe, but the bass line really drives this song along. A solid start from the lads. Wait a Minute My Girl is next and takes rockabilly into overdrive. I don't know about you, but am I the only one getting Misfits vibes on this track? I mean, it sounds like the Misfits from the 90s, and I know they did a covers album based on artists from the 50s, which kind of ties these styles together. This song was written as a love song for Michael's fiancée. It has an epic sax solo as well as a piano solo, and it is a standout red hot track here. The Sacred Stones is next and takes a sharp left turn in tone. This track sounds dark right away with a slow and brooding riff, similar to Slayer's opening to South Side of Heaven. It's an okay song, but I feel it could have been moved around the album to make it flow better. Shotgun Blues is next, and it's another track gaining traction from this album, and produces a solid sludgy riff. Ironically, the track has very little to do with the blues vibe, but is a great track to pump loudly. The Devil Rages On is up next, and rears a kind of psychobilly soundscape with occasional snarls and vocals. The song is alright in drumming up a fast tempo. It certainly strikes an image of a 50s rocker with a hairdo in a devilish attitude. I wonder if the artwork was inspired by this track. Shower thoughts, I guess. Say No More follows suit with ferocious drumming and a heavier guitar sound than previous songs. It kind of rings like something from Metallica's Black Album. Certainly got a thrashy vibe to it. Heaven's Descent is another devilishly delightful tune. A more polished rock sound, but the band doesn't lose its edge completely. Degenera featuring Stein Bramsman is the next song up and means the day before. This song shows a nice duet between the two singers. According to Stein's Spotify bio, she is one of the biggest voices from the Danish pop scene, and that's saying something. Look, I've got no idea about Danish pop music, but I'm guessing that it's a competitive field considering the Eurovision. Regardless, this is a welcome break from the pace of the previous tracks. The Passenger is next, and not to be confused by the track of the same name by Iggy Pop, although that would be interesting. Anyway, this track has a heavier start before giving way to a softer underbelly. A particular shout out to the guitar solo at the end to wrap up this song. Step Into the Light is the following song, and it's an okay track. Kind of slow and not as energetic as some of the other songs here, but not bad. I like the guitar work on here, and it captures that late 50s and early 60s sound from bands like Chuck Berry. Becoming is up next and is easily the heaviest track on this album, and it starts with that fast as a grinder guitar work that is similar in sound at parts. I mean, you could be confused with some other Scandinavian bands in other genres with this intro. The track does simmer down eventually, but its resonance is still felt throughout. To me, the track is a highlight in my opinion. Mind Lock is the following track, and it's not a bad song, but there are better songs. Lasses Birgitta is the last track and is referring to a witch in Sweden from the 16th century. It's certainly an epic story to close on, not including the bonus tracks, and a great closing track for this album. Volbeat are going to be touring with Ghost later this year, and I'm annoyed because it's not an Australian tour. I'm mentioning this because Volbeat and Ghost share some similarities in musical style, and they are also from neighbouring countries. People may joke that Scandinavian music puts out extremes in pop like ABBA or metal like Meshuggah, but the bands I mentioned before are somewhat in the middle. Now, I didn't know a lot of songs by Volbeat, and they seem alright in small doses. In fact, to tell you the truth, I put off writing this episode for a few weeks because I would skip this album from time to time. I couldn't listen to it all at once, and I chalked that up to the singing style. Look, Michael's vocals aren't bad. He does a good job at a polished rock singer sound, like a Scott Weiland without the gravelly undertones. No, the thing that kept driving me away was his accent. It became hard to understand some lyrics, and I would rewind the song and constantly be trying to understand what he said. It eventually became too frustrating. I'll probably receive some flack for mentioning that, but music is subjective, and when I struggle to understand what was said, it will cost in the end. The only way I can really draw a comparison is between, say, Volbeat and Rammstein. While I can't truly understand what Rammstein are saying, at least they've got the backing guitars and the march-like drums to back them up. Volbeat, however, the vocals are the forefront, and that is what's bringing it down. Let me know in the comments section if you agree or disagree. Also, sub to us to stay tuned for future episodes that come out every Friday. That out of the way, there are some incredibly catchy songs on the album, with standout tracks being Wait a Minute My Girl, Shotgun Blues, and Becoming. I think the album is deserving of a rating of 1 million chilies. Looking beyond the vocals, it's a solid hard rock album, and I'm sure fans will enjoy this, as well as non-fans which can get into this album. And if this is the future of the rock scene, then I won't complain. Thank you for listening to this episode. My name is Chilli, this is the 5-minute review and live listen erased. Please subscribe to us and get notified when we release new videos every Friday. Also, if you haven't already, check out our socials at Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at live listen erased. Alright, you have a great day and stay spicy.